I remember a while ago when I had my WordPress agency business at around 90 client websites that I was maintaining. All I wanted to do is do fitness, do obstacle running. That is what I loved. And I built the business in the first place to support the lifestyle that I wanted to have. And there I was, 90 client websites, no automation, no backups, no testing. And it was taking the entire time of my week to maintain those damn websites. And it was totally defeating the purpose of my business. And in this video, I want to break down what I did to save 86% of my time in maintaining the client websites. Hey, my name is Jan. I'm the host of the WP Agency Summit. And today I want to talk about how I saved 86% of my time and the time that my team spent on maintaining client websites based on WordPress. So why is it important to have a proper process in place and to leverage tools and automation when maintaining client websites? Now, the first reason is when you install updates on client websites, you can potentially break things. And obviously that is the worst case scenario, especially when you are in my position. I had a few online shops that did 6 figures per month. If I broke those, they lost like $20,000 per day. And that's not a fun situation to be in. So I definitely needed to make sure that the maintenance service my team and I were providing did not break the client websites. Eventually, what we would find is if we didn't have the process in place, we would stop doing updates, which of course is another no-go. First of all, you would charge people for a service you don't provide, but more importantly, you introduce security risk if you don't install updates, because what happens is the update log gets published on the WordPress repository from the plugins that you have installed. Everybody can see what patches have been fixed in a recent update, which of course is a valuable resource for hackers. So they know exactly what types of security issues a website has if they run an outdated version of a specific plugin. And scraping the website and understanding what plugins you run is easier than ever before. That's why stopping to update websites, even if you were not charging for them, stopping to update websites is a no-go. It just has to happen. And now, most importantly, we were wasting a lot of time with our process. We were wasting time in the updates because we had 90 client websites and I had a VA go through them, update them manually. I'm almost embarrassed to say, but that's what it was back in the day. I had somebody click through 90 websites and update them one by one, which of course I couldn't do myself, but then I had to pay somebody else. So in the end, it's just a deferred expense. And in this video, I'll show you what I've changed. Now, first of all, what you want to make sure is when you are tweaking this update process, the maintenance process, is you have a smooth process for the updates. You don't have downtime and you can test on staging environments before you install the updates on a live website so that you don't run the risk of breaking a production website. Super, super important. It's a no-brainer, but let me iterate this because it is really the one differentiating factor that can set your maintenance service apart from what your competitors are doing. Now, the second one is you want to have updates regularly, at least once per week. You want to have the updates being installed again on that staging environment and then rolled over to the live website, which helps you increase the security of the websites you manage, because of course an updated website is more secure than an outdated website. And lastly, if you automate parts of this process, you become more effective, you save time, and in the end, that increases your bottom line and you can scale the recurring revenue from your maintenance service a lot easier. Now, here are 4 steps that I've personally taken that changed my business and that I would recommend you take too. First of all, you want to find a tool that lets you not just automatically install updates. WordPress can do this out of the box and you can configure it for just the minor updates or the core updates as well. You want to have a tool that lets you set up staging environments easily, that lets you test the updates easily, for example, with visual regression testing, and most importantly, that lets you manage all your sites on one place. You don't want to have to log into 90 websites like I had to do back in the day before I had such a tool. You want to have one platform that is super tight locked down, that is super secure, only your team has access to it, and then you have one central place where you can manage all the websites from. That's number 1. Step number 2, check the compatibility with your current stack. Depending on the services you use, for example, the web hosting that your client website is already on, you might be able to use only a handful of selected tools. There are web hosts that block certain plugins, for example, because they would not work with their unique infrastructure, with their proprietary setup. And so you want to make sure that when you have client websites on such a web host, maybe you need to migrate them first. Maybe they're not the best fit for a maintenance program, but at least you want to make sure that the majority of your clients are on hosts that let you run such a centralized website management tool. Step number 3, check your finances. How much budget do you have to pay for such a tool? There are free tools that have their own pros and cons, and there are super expensive paid tools that have their pros and cons. And to be honest, that ties into step number 4, and I'm more a fan of paid tools in this regard, because let's face it, when you have something that's going wrong, you need to have somebody to speak to like that. You need to have a support team that is at your hand, that knows the tool inside and out, forward and backward, and that can help you at any point in time, no matter where you are located on the time zone scale on the globe, no matter how late it is for you or how late it would be for them. You want to have a team that is available 24/7, 365, because usually the bugs don't happen in regular office hours, right? They always happen outside of the office hours. So that tool needs to have support that is capable, and the best way to test this is by actually chatting with pre-sales and going over some various scenarios, asking them how they're responding to websites going down, to security issues being released, when there's a big security issues impacting plugins that you have installed on your client websites. Go over those scenarios with them before you migrate all the websites you maintain to that platform, and make sure that you have the right one. And step number 5, kind of like a bonus step I want to add, is make sure that the platform integrates with communication tools you already use. If you have Slack, for example, you want to have a maintenance plugin or a maintenance SaaS that can integrate with Slack, so whenever something goes wrong, you get a notification on a channel you are already monitoring. You don't want to have to look into your emails for something going wrong, because then you have to set up new reminders and new rules to get notifications. Because let's face it, who here gets notified when a new email comes in? We all get so many emails. You probably have the phone on Do Not Disturb most of the time for email. So that's not the best way. The best way is to integrate into a communication channel you are already using. So that's it. Those are my 5 steps, how I saved 86% of my time for website maintenance when I had 90 client websites on my maintenance plan. If you want to have more videos like this, more videos related to growing your agency, internal agency processes that help you scale, and a lot of other good stuff that my fellow Cloudways Mavericks and I are producing, subscribe to the Cloudways channel, hit that bell notification icon so that we always can ping you when a new video goes live, and we'll see you in the next one.